coming live. Welcome to the program. Those who are for it, those who are against it. Uh, to all my haters down there in the comment section, because I know you're coming, you might as well just get started while it's early, because I got a hot topic, and I don't censor the comments. I really don't care what you say. When you comment, I know you're watching, and I know you're listening. Former President Donald Trump, I really think he's really delusional and senile. Recently, down in his on his Mar-a-Lago estate, where he held an unhinged press conference with a handful of all-white supporters, probably from the racist and bigoted network known as Fox. Of course, no black reporters were invited, just all-white reporters. So what else would you expect from a racist and a bigot? That's what they do. During the course of his endless tirade, he compared himself to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Let's get this straight. Dr. King came from a long line of preachers. Dr. King had a divine call on his life. He was very, very prophetic in his own right. He wasn't somebody who just had one speech and said, I have a dream. Most people don't even know what the entire speech is about. There's a book entitled The Essential Writings of Martin Luther King Jr. Every one of his major speeches are included in that 800-page book. I read it 7 times, so I know what I'm talking about. During the course of Dr. King's life before he was assassinated, he did not lay his life down. He was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, down in Memphis, Tennessee, as he stood on the balcony of a hotel. Dr. King made over 10,000 speeches during the course of his 39 years. His writings have been donated and they're enshrined at Boston University. I think that's where he earned either his doctorate or his master's degree. I have to fact check that. And Dr. King originally did not start out to become a civil rights activist. He started out as a pastor at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, which is right across the street from the Capitol. The sad part is, Trump, on the other hand, was born he's been white and privileged all his life. Born into a wealthy family. I don't begrudge him that. If you're born into a wealthy family, you're born into a wealthy family. All his life he's been white and he's been a racist. Point blank. And a lot of black people get mad when you tell them you're not going to vote for Trump. You can vote for whoever you want to. We really don't care. We're not telling you not to vote for the man. I'm not telling you not to support the man. But others have a right not to vote for him if they choose not to vote for him. If they choose to vote for Harris and Walz, that's their prerogative. If somebody chooses to vote for Trump and Vance, that's their prerogative. Politics has become a filthy, dirty business. Either you're for the extremism in this country, and Democrats have to stop letting people insult them. If you're a Democrat, be proud to be a Democrat. You don't have to shriek from it. You don't have to run from it. Be proud of who you are. Y'all better thank God that I don't have a call in my life to be a politician, because I would give the Republicans hell. Every day of the week, I'd give them grief. I would run them ragged. I would rip them to shreds, especially on a platform where I'd be debating. And I would call them out every single time with substantiated facts. I wouldn't back down from not one of them. And even as an independent commentator and journalist, I say what I want to say. Just like they say what they want to say, I say exactly what's on my mind. These are my opinions. These are my conclusions. And I'm going to have them whether his supporters agree or not. I don't have to like Trump. I have to vote for Trump. As I said in one of my videos not so long ago, I read every so-called book that Trump wrote until I found out that they were ghost-written. He didn't write any of them. So it was all a lie. And then you wanted all the money from the books. That's what narcissists do. So, point blank. Just like the people on Trump's side don't give two flips in the wind. They don't care about all his faults and failures. They don't care about all the disgusting things that he says and does. Well, guess what? I don't care about Harris's faults and failures either. And for the pissed off black men, she didn't prosecute you. You don't even know why she prosecuted the people that she prosecuted. You're just mad because black men went to prison while she was a prosecutor. She did her job. She did her job as an attorney general. The same way a white attorney general and a white prosecutor would do his or her job. She did her job. So don't give me that BS about she didn't do this, she didn't do that. Well, neither did Trump. He would have people to believe that he's the greatest thing since Abraham Lincoln. He can't even compare himself to Abraham Lincoln. So I don't give a damn about Sean Hannity and the rest of that racist bunch over at the Racist and Bigoted Network. I don't care anything about them. They can say whatever they want, just like I will clap right back at them. Every time they attack Kamala Harris and get her name right, you bigots. The same way y'all pronounce Trump's name correctly, pronounce her name correctly. I don't care if you don't like her. Y'all don't like her because she's a black woman, point blank. If she was a white woman and on the Republican ticket, y'all would worship her and adore her. Well, I found several headline articles that I'm going to read where Trump compared himself to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., starting from Black Enterprise, The Root, Salon, Indu 100. Now watch this. Let me read this first one. As reported in Black Enterprise, the headline says, Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, who is Reverend Dr. Bernice King, and who's the head of the King Center, claps back at Donald Trump for comparing himself to her father. The daughter of the late civil rights activist, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm going to add this, Dr. Bernice King, dragged former President Donald Trump for comparing his rallies to her father's historic I Have a Dream speech. During an August 8 press conference at his Mar-a-Lago resort, Trump compared the size of his January 6, 2021 rally crowds to the crowd that came out to hear Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. Approximately 250,000 plus people showed up to hear Dr. King. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech was delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on August 28, 1963, during the Civil Rights Movement's March on Washington. In a call for equality following the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, King gave voice to the defining ideas of the Civil Rights Movement and was later a galvanizing agent for monumental legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which has been gutted by the bigoted Republicans, and the Voting Rights Act the following year. For Trump, his January 6th speech was just as important and had just as many, if not more, attendees, Trump said. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people, if not, we had more. Pure bull. He continued, look at it. And you look at the picture of his crowd, my crowd, we actually had more people. However, this is not the case. The Root reports that Dr. King's speech brought out nearly 250,000 people. But Trump's popular Stop the Steal speech after losing the 2020 presidential election only had 53,000 people in attendance. Democrats, y'all need to start making these ads about Trump inciting the insurrection that occurred on January 6th. Stop playing with this man. You got the momentum. You got the winning ticket. You got the formula. Don't back down. Keep the heat on him the same way he's trying to do it to y'all. He's got his attack dog pants running all over the country. Fight fire with fire. I talked about it in one of my videos. That is the winning strategy. That's how you defeat him. You fight fire with fire. Don't be nice to him because he's not nice to you. Don't speak nice about him because he doesn't speak nice about you. Don't show him any mercy because he doesn't show any mercy. Oh, and you racist evangelicals, I got a powerful video coming up, for y'all. Y'all think y'all behinds are slick. Especially you, Jensen Franklin, who showed up at the Republican convention. You're always begging black people for money. I got a special video. I'm going to rip these racist, white, bigoted evangelicals to shreds, from Rod Parsley to Kenneth Copeland to Benny Hinn and all the rest of them. I ain't having no mercy on none of them. I'm telling you now. I'm an independent, conscious, awakened black man. And I ain't apologizing for a damn thing. I'm telling you now, I'm not apologizing for nothing. And black people, stop being apologists. Say what you mean what you say, and be man enough to stand by it once you say it. Because if you're man enough to say it and you stand by it, you won't stand alone. Don't worry about who I am. Trump's inaccurate comments stirred up social media, but particularly it prompted King's daughter, Dr. Bernice King, a 61-year-old lawyer, to address Trump's comments. She wrote on X, absolutely not true. I really wish that people would stop using my father to support fallacy. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, known as the NAACP, also spoke up to respond to Trump's claims about his supporters. On one social media, the NAACP posted a photo of the 1963 crowd at the I Have a Dream speech side by side to the crowd at Trump's speech. The post was captioned, quote, Donald Trump just said he had a bigger crowd on January 6th than Dr. Martin Luther King did when he delivered I Have a Dream. Not only is that completely false, well, it's an outright lie. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's an outright lie. Forget the niceties. We ain't going to be nice about it. He's an outright liar. Not only is that completely false, but here's what is more important. MLK's speech was about democracy. Trump's was about tearing it down. Wow. Now here's another article from The Root entitled, No, He Didn't. Trump compares his speech to MLK's I Have a Dream, and Dr. Bernice King claps back. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Bernice King, always has time to remind y'all to put some respect on her father's name and legacy. And she's right. I'm tired of people just talking about Dr. King once a year. And they only want to talk about that little 30-second clip. Y'all need to actually check out Eyes on the Prize. That documentary produced by PBS some time ago. It's all there. Everything's included. She said, y'all need to put some respect on my father's name and legacy. So when it came to former President Donald Trump recently comparing the size of his crowd to MLK's daughter, his speech at the March on Washington, King was quick to step to him. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me, Trump said during this press conference at Mar-a-Lago. That's what a narcissist says. That's what a narcissist does. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, some real estate. Same real estate, same everything, same number of people. If not, we had more, he insisted. During his delusions further, the GOP nominee went on to say, look at it. And you look at the picture of his crowd, my crowd, we actually had more people. Before including Trump made it known that he likes Dr. King, which is why he's okay with people saying he only had 25,000 and MLK had 1 million people. All of it false. Dr. Trump never supported nothing Dr. King did. He didn't support a darn thing that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did. Nothing. According to Business Insiders, MLK's 1963 I Have a Dream speech drew an estimated 250,000 people to Washington, D.C. Stop the Steal speech, according to USA Today, garnered about 53,000 in the crowd. Per usual, Trump's remarks sparked a tidal wave of reactions on social media, but the person everyone was waiting to hear from was none other than Dr. King's youngest child, Dr. Bernice King. In a quoted tweet, King responded, quote, absolutely not true. She continued saying, I really wish that people would stop using my father to support fallacy. To add flair to her remarks, King posted a picture of her father, which many online have used as a reaction meme. See how I can get that up. Yep. It's a picture of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And as I close this segment, I'm going to close it by saying this. If black people are so unimportant in this nation, then why do everyone want the black vote? Now all of a sudden they like black people. During the Trump administration, they weren't talking about the love for black people. They passed legislation protecting everything, everyone, and everybody. During the George Floyd murder, he supported the cop. I don't know what's going on with the feed, but I don't care.